Hey, I thought I would do a little eye makeup video on the Louise Nude palette. So as you can see, it's absolutely massive. It's amazing packaging. There's a lot of stuff in here that's, I think, interview with her. I've not even read it all. It's quite a lot. With her packaging, she just always goes out there with loads of detail on it and things. But yeah, it seems it's like an interview with her. But then there's also quotes and stuff. Louise doesn't know how to run a business. She needs cancelling ASAP. So I think it's all like bad press and bad comments she's got. She's kind of used it against, like used it for her benefit in a way. She's just put it in her work and thought, you know, F you. So yeah, she's done it. It's really funny. The Louise trend needs to be stopped. To say she's a makeup artist kills me. So it has all like awesome quotes, and in this bit here there's a mirror and it says, take a look in the mirror. If your words were to reflect the person you see and you were judged solely on what you've written online, would you be a beautiful person? So I was a bit like, oh, a few times I might have put even bad comments, so I'm not a beautiful person. But no, this is against the trolls and obviously all the backlash she gets and horrible comments. So yeah, an exclusive interview with Louise. So I do need to have time to read this. I've only had it about a week. I've also got it with the book, the Get a Goal Getter. Massive book. It's probably double the thickness in this huge Bible looking thing, but that is incredible as well, and there's a lot of writing in there, so I've just not had time to read both of them, but I will, because yeah, it's really quirky, it's really cool. So let's get to the actual eyeshadows. There's loads of videos online where they've done swatches and stuff, so I'm not going to do that, but those are the colours. Now I like to show it like up close and personal, because not everyone does that, or they'll show it really quick, and if you're interested in buying this and you want to see reviews on it, you don't always get to actually see the shadows. So let me even go closer for you. The shadows in real life are better than the pictures online, and even better than actually what Louise puts on her Instagram page and the Academy page. I think so anyway, because some of them look like, especially this section here, they look really pale, but as you can see, there's a few different tones to them, so it looks way better in this video than it does on pictures. And then like the end row, so yeah, hope that was useful to you. I did this eye look with it. I actually got my husband to pick some shades from the palette for me to do this, so I had a little bit of fun. I didn't really know where I was going with it. I just tried some things. As you can see, there's a lot of fallout. I do mention that, but I don't care. I do recommend this palette, especially if you're a makeup artist for brides or nude girls, soft glam looks, things like that. It's got everything you need, probably apart from some blues maybe. But yeah, I just absolutely love it. It's a really good palette. I feel like my eye makeup looks nice, and I don't think you'd need any other nude palettes. I've got the Jeffree Star Orgy one, and the quality of that is like 50% compared to this 100%. Like, this is such a good palette, so I hope you enjoy. So my husband will pick me some colours to use for my eyes. So come on, husband, pick me something in the lighter range.
I pick Rumour.
Okay, so Rumour,
yeah.
Nice peachy. Pick something in this mid-range.
Newsflash.
Where's that?
That one.
Oh, Newsflash.
Report.
Pick me something in the orange one.
And the orange. Media.
Okay, this is going to be a lot of eyeshadows on my eyes. So I need something to darken, so pick me something dark.
Problematic.
A nice dark brown.
And then
There's something for the lid.
I like that shiny one, that misleading. Here.
Yeah, you do it on your finger.
There you go.
I want to see. Oh, it's nice and like glittery. That's going to be nice.
Oh, it's all over me.
So let's do this. So to start with, I'm just using eyeshadow kind of guides. And these are just some cheap ones from Primark, and it's a full piece, but I've cut it in half. And I like to use this just because I feel like I can do my eyeshadow quicker. I like to just push the product up, and I do quite like a neat straight line. And it saves going in later cleaning up and with concealer as much. So what I forgot that I needed to do was I've soaped browed my eyebrows. So I've done one and then I'll do the other one to show you. So this is the Bomb Brows and it looks like this. So you can really work in your mascara wand. I just sprayed it with a kind of, it's not full setting spray, it's more of a like a primer water, and it's actually from Primark again, which is really good. Primark do have some very affordable good items that I do like in my kit. I wouldn't necessarily buy all their like eyeshadows and things like that, but I do like that primer water and I love these eyeshadow pieces. So I'm pushing the eyebrows up and working the product in, but I'm not going to leave it like that because as you can see this one's been curved over a little bit. It's still made it flatter, it's made it thicker to work with, but it's not crazy like this. Like I feel that that's quite, I'll do that in a creature makeup character look for fancy dress or something. I don't think people's eyebrows should be walking around like that. I know some people do it and they like it and the whole fluffy brow thing, but I feel it looks a bit daft. So for me, I'm making sure that product is starting to get tacky and sticky and ready to set. So I'm just using the end of the the brush to the end of the eye. Oh my god, I can't get my words out. To the end of the eyebrow, and I'm combing it over. I'm definitely trying to keep this arch area lifted. There's not much hair there for me anyway. I've not got the greatest brows, but here I'm just trying to shift over the shape, just so it's not crazily stuck up anymore. So that's that, and then I'm just kind of pressing down, making sure it is set. I do like the few hairs here if there's any to stay combed up. They do look quite cute, but yeah, I definitely wouldn't have left them so up and bushy. I think it looks a bit weird. And that's the brows done, but now I'm just going to go clean up underneath and around to make sure there's no soap on the skin, or else the makeup will not go on properly. So for eyeshadow primer, it's got to be the P. Louise bases. So I've mixed 2 and 3 together. Usually I'd be 2 on its own, but I am a bit tan, so I didn't want it to be too brightening. But I do also like it to be a little bit lighter. So as normal, cover the old eyelid, up into the bridge of the nose, and also out here in case it gets dragged out here. So for me at the moment as well, I'm actually trying to change my eyebrow shape. So as you can see, they go quite down. So it makes my face look a bit down. So because it has got the soap on, I've been trying to go over the edge a little bit. And then I've been trying to make my eyebrow shape higher. So this is obviously not for someone who's natural with makeup, because it's, you know, probably if you came close to me, you're going to know that I've done that. But I don't care. It's not like I'm seeing loads of people at the minute, and I don't think it looks too bad. It doesn't look too noticeable, which hopefully you'd agree at the end. I'm using the Zoeva 144. So yeah, later I'll add a bit of a tip kind of tail to my brow. But as you can see, I should have compared it, but as you can see already there's a lift to my face compared to where that's down. See, like that's like the 1920 shape, where this is just a straighter shape. So I'm just enjoying doing this at the moment. Some people obviously can shave their brow off. I'm just draw it on anyway, rather than having to cover it like I'm trying to. But my eyebrows are tattooed on, so unfortunately I can't do that. Mainly what you see there is the tattoo anyway, because I've hardly got any hair there. But yeah, as soon as the tattoo fades, or I'm tempted to get laser tattoo, and then yeah, I can do that. I just feel that the shape is going to be so much better. I don't add a really long wing. I don't really fake it out too much. I just add a little bit just to give myself a thinner tail, because if I left it like that, to me, I feel it's too thick. So just sometimes it's good to just tap that product in, but I like to go in with the sponge just because it's quicker. Just to make sure that base is really nice, full coverage, and a perfect canvas for obviously the eyeshadows. Trying to, if you did ever want to do this with your eyebrows, see what it looked like. Trying to not overwork that area right now with the sponge though, because I don't want to lift too much product off. Okay, so the first shade I'm going to go in with is going to be the lighter one called Rumor. So it's a nice skin tone, peachy shade for me. And I'm just doing it at the top. So yeah, it's going to be kind of like my last blending shade. I'm not going as high as the brow bone yet. I'll go in later with a bit of either a lighter colour or this colour actually could work, but or a shimmer. I do like my shimmers there. The shimmer we picked might be too dark, so I might need to add a colour. So I thought this was going to be a bit more peachy than what it is, but it's pretty much my skin tone, so it's not showing up a lot. So I'm not going to focus too much on this shadow. I'm just trying to like use the brush, like the tip of the brush, like that. And it is doing a lot of kickback and fallout, so I'm just tapping off. But that's fine, I don't mind when products do that. It usually means they have a lot of pigment. And it also means that they're quite easy blendable as well, and you could get a lot of product on your brush. There's nothing worse than really having to work a product and hardly picking anything up. So I'm then going to go in with the next one he said, which was the NUDE Flash. Again, swirl it around. See, I've just used the same brush and I've just wiped it on a towel in between. So I don't even know what this brush is. If anybody asked, it's lost its markings. I think it might be Morph. So now I'm just going to go a bit lower than the shade I've just done, but not quite in the crease, because I'm going to do the darker shades in the crease. And because obviously it is a wet base, I'm patting the product in, as you can see. I don't want to go in and do any swiping and blending method yet. So I'm kind of doing it over the crease line, just above it. So I'm pressing in and stamping it in. So is anyone interested in this palette? Do you love the look of it? Have you got it? Have you played with it? What's your favourite colours? Let me know. I just feel there's so many shadows that I need to play with and test. It's going to take a while, but I can't wait to use it on my brides. I hope it is as good as I feel it is. So now I'm just going to get that same brush, wipe off the product, and then go in and blend it in with that previous shade. So now I'm really trying to have a light pressure now when I do this, kind of like a tapping and a dragging outwards or circular motions. I go between both really when I'm trying to blend edges. I'm trying to just not disturb the base really. So I'm just going to pick up a bit of the Rumor and a bit of the Sensor and blend them together and then go over that edge. I think the transition between the two is a little bit too dark, so it needed a bit of a mix of both. Just to go back in. See, it's becoming a bit softer now. So I'll just keep doing that until I'm happy with the blend. And as you can see, I do like to bring my shadows quite high, but I've got quite a bit of eye space. I feel if I did it quite low, like this bit here, it's quite fatty for me. So if I didn't do it, it would look like I've got a overhanging bit. So everyone's eye shape's obviously different. It's about learning what's good for the individual person. So I have got a crazy amount of fallout. It's getting worse. The only time that it looks at me is when I run out a shade that I love, because I think of all the times that I've had some wasted. But yeah, it would make the palette quite messy as well, so it's just going to get a lot messier. But I'm not too mad at it because I do like the quality of the shadows. So I'm going to go in next with, it did say also Report, it's like mustard yellow, but I might add that later. Yeah, so I'm going to add that later, and then I'm going to go with the media. So, or should I go with a dark brown? Yeah, actually I'm going to just skip those shades for now, and then I'm going to go with the darker shades. So I'm going to change from my fluffier morph brush into a more defined detailing brush. This is a MAC 221, I think. So again, just trying to pick up this shadow to keep it on the end of the brush, tap off any excess. Again, it's kicking back a bit, but like I said, I'm not bothered. And now I'm going to concentrate on make sure my tape's not gone high, this outer V area.
I'm going now.
Sorry, my husband was starting to have a conversation, even though he knows I'm filming, and I've told him to be quiet. Bless him. But yeah, so I'm kind of doing this outer V shape, and I'm trying to stamp in the product as well as blend as I go along. And I'm skipping coming in too much. I really want to keep it on the outer contour, try and get that like sexy smouldering eye look. So bringing it in and up a little bit as well. So I shouldn't be too mean about my husband because he's the one who brought me this lovely palette, bless him. When we first got together, I used to treat him a lot because I earned a bit more money than him. But I've helped him with his career the last few years, helped him, advise him, and been there for him when he struggled, and brought him even like cheap cars and runarounds to get to jobs and things like that. And then finally his business took off probably this last year, so now he's starting to treat me a lot more, which is amazing. So it just goes to show, like, you definitely shouldn't go with a partner just for money, because you can build that kind of empire together. And obviously with COVID times, I've lost a lot of income, a lot of work, and I've heavily relied on him the last few months, which I've never had to do with a man ever. So it is a little bit soul destroying, but yeah, he's just been lovely about it, and he loves to buy me palettes. Like, he knows I love my palettes. He knows every time there's a new one out, I'm like, I need it. But I stopped buying them for myself because I've got too many. But he buys me as a treat instead, so I'm not stopping him buying me them. So yeah, he got this to cheer me up lately because I've been feeling crap. So I'm just trying to think how far I want to come in with this. Probably still going a little bit further. And I'm just trying to stay kind of like in the crease and above it slightly. I'm trying to get that outer edge. Obviously it's not blended right now. So then I'm going to actually tap off the excess and get the brush clean. And I'm just going to start dragging out that edging. Not too far, just enough to try and soften the edge. There's going to be middle shadow in a minute, so I'm not going to be stressing too much. I just wanted to make it not too harsh to be able to blend. And then I'm going to go back into the fluffy brush that I have no name for, and now I'm going to pick up the orange shade, and it picked media. So this is going to really warm it up. Looking quite ashy and cool at the moment. Yeah, I would definitely say it's more ashy and cool than warm. So this is going to really warm it up, which hopefully will be nice. Hopefully it doesn't go horrible right now. So again, just loaded the brush at the tip end, trying to find that middle from the dark transition to the original transition we had. I'm just going to go over and blend, tapping it in at first. Although this tapping step at this stage shouldn't be too vital, purely because the shadow is already on the base now, so it should be set. But it's just become a habit that I've got from recent creative like eyeshadows I've been using, some online makeup lessons I've been using. They'd use similar methods, and I've just found like by doing it, the shadows do pop a bit better and do blend a bit better, rather than sometimes they could go patchy. So it's trying to just avoid any patchiness really. Just like to get at least the like a base colour down first before I start any blending. So I am going to bring that over into here. Don't mind this being this lighter kind of warmer shade. I'm not worried about the lid at the minute because the colour's going on that later. So it's not too pigmented. I do feel like I'm having to layer it up quite a lot, this shade. But it might be because it is layering on top of the shadows. But I've been using the Be Perfect palette recently and those layer up so good. But I wouldn't want this too orange anyway. So this is like orange enough for me. So then now I'm going to go back in to the Problematic again. Try and get some of that dark back that we might have lost. Try and get it out. Blending them together. Remember to sometimes wipe your brush in between if you're scared of it getting muddy. That original brush, the big fluffy one, I'm going back in to the second shade we used. The one, was it Censored? No, Newsflash. I've been putting Censored on. What an idiot. So at one point I was using Newsflash and I've ended up using Censored at some point. So I wasn't meant to be using that, but I'm going to go back into Newsflash, the second colour I should have been using, and blend out that orange a little bit more. Really accentuating the eye because that's the style I like at the minute. Obviously a lot of Instagrammers and stuff are doing it as well, just really dragging it out. So trying to get from the orange to the skin tone now with this kind of middle shade. Let's do the same this side. Light pressure. Now this is probably way dramatic for like everyday, obviously makeup wear. A lot of people would not wear even this elongated and this high up their eye. But I like it. And I'm playing, so. It's all very repetitive when it comes to eyes. I do find clients say that they can't do eyeshadow, but I think it's because at a certain point you'll think it's going wrong and you'll stop. Like, you know, I think this looks awful at the minute. It really does. It's completely not finished, obviously. So you can panic and think, oh, it looks rubbish, it's going to be crap. But no, it's purely because you're just not finished all your layers. Just going to pick that's this small one I used before. So I'm picking an even thinner one. And I'm tapping it into the shade called Fabrication. And it's the black. And I'm just putting it in the very outer V. Ever so slightly. Just wanted to amp it up a bit. So this is going to end up being like a nighttime look for sure. Obviously I didn't really know where I was going with this look. I'm purely playing. And I've used quite a few shadows, so that's good for anyone obviously watching who's interested in the palette. You're getting to see the quality of some of the shades, or at least what they look like. Okay, so now I'm going to the lid colour, and I'm just going to take some of the product I've got left that is still wet, so I might as well use it, and pat it on my lid. Trying to obviously get a wet base ready to pick up this shimmer. It would make it the best for that shimmer, that product. So it's kind of giving it a bit of a helping hand for us to see what it looks like. I should have probably done one eye with the base as it was, or one eye like this, so we could have compared, but I wanted to use up some of the remaining stuff on my hand. So I'm just taking that kind of flat fluffy brush from Noshes, give it a bit of a wipe with my wipe, a bit of a dry, and then I'm going to just pat that in. I don't want this to be a cut crease, so I'm just softening any edges. So I could have gone in with that original Rumour shade, the first shade, the skin tone one, and pat that on for a matte eye, and that probably would have looked really nice. But I'm going to obviously try the shade Misleading. It's like a gold glittery shade. So let's just see how well this looks. I will say the metallics in this palette don't swatch the best. Some do seem a bit dry, but actually that is going on lovely. So I just felt like I needed to go in with my finger rather than a brush. I am going to test the other eye with a brush so I can see how it works. But yeah, that's lovely. It's quite a antique-y, like undertone of a yellowy, greeny gold. Ooh, it does work just as good with a brush. And I love that because, as you can see, it's like a flat one and you can really get in the shape of it. So I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury black eyeliner, and I'm going to make kind of a smudged liner at first, and then I might go in with a liquid liner. Can you be quiet, please? What? Can you be quiet, please? So I'm just going to go halfway in. So I'm going to try and get that kind of like cat eye elongated eyeliner. And obviously it's so dark here, you can't really tell that it's there anyway. So before that sets, I'm going to use a smudger brush. I'm dipping it in the black fabrication shade and the shade called Ranting. So it's like a dark brown and black. I'm just blending them together. And I'm going to go over, kind of set that, but also smudge it. Bye, love you! Love you, bye! How's everyone coping with their kids and lockdown? I've had it quite easy. She spent a lot of time at her dad's, like co-parenting. So I actually did miss her. I wanted to do more with her. So I've been blessed that we haven't drove each other crazy. So yeah, that's like the kind of thin line effect I'm going for now. I'm also now using the same liner in the waterline. And above the waterline. Take those off. If you felt these stuck too well, use a bit of makeup cleanser and a cotton bud. Especially on clients, it can be quite uncomfortable. So I'm not even bothered about the fallout and stuff yet. I'm just going to make sure that my primer is still there and smooth. So I can see it starting to crease a little bit. And I'm using that same brush. This is from a Revolution kit, bent liner, smoky liner. It's got a liner brush at the end and then plus the smudger. So I really love the smudger, it's amazing. So I'm just going to go back into the brown problematic shade, the dark brown of what my hubby picked, and link the top of the eye obviously to the bottom. And I'm trying to keep it small and to the lash line, and I'm only bringing it halfway in. Obviously same for the other side. Let's do that report shade. I'm a bit scared. I don't know how yellow this is going to be. So it's the mustardy. As you can see, like it's the yellow one standing out, but it's more of a mustard. It just looks ever so yellow, obviously, compared to everything else in the palette. So I'm just trying to tap off any excess, and let's do it as the highlight shade. And actually that's lovely. It's a really nice shade. Kind of wish I left more space to play with that. Let's buff it in the inner corners as well. Definitely going to play some more with that shade on looks. I can tell obviously it's not going to be one from like my brides, but for a girl on a night out, it looked really nice with a girl who's got a good tan. So here I'm just trying to soften those like edge up there. It'll get neater when the skin's on and the bronzer and things like that. I'm going to neaten up, clean up. This is where if you didn't have the things I had on, you could do this and get that neat line. if you feel it's too straight and neat, you can always buff that out. You go in with like a fluffy brush with the shades and soften it. But I've done a few looks like that lately, so I'm just going to keep it quite straight and harsh. I like to mix it up a bit. So actually use your wipe to really neaten up under here, and then re-add kind of those shadows that you might be moving away now. But I am trying to make it a bit smaller because I'm getting older. I don't like it too thick underneath anymore. I feel it just drags my eyes down. Obviously I've done this to lift up the eyes. I've done my brows to hopefully lift a little bit. So for me it's all about the lifting. I don't want to be dragging my eyes down. I do feel like it needs a highlighter colour in here, one that's lighter on the lid. So I'm going to use the same brush as I did with the lid colour. I'm just going to give it a wipe off. Sometimes it's good to do it with a wipe. It will help you keep it precise and flat and wet as well. To pick up a shadow is always a good thing. So there's a shade in here called Exclusive and the Public. I'm going to mix them two together because that looks too white and that looks a bit similar to the lid. Well, a bit more of a warmer gold. So I'm just going to mix the two together. Let's see what we get. So tap off. Just brighten that area, which I personally like. I know a lot of people don't. I'm just tapping in them again, a bit more concentrating on the shade Public, the warmer one. And I'm just going to do under my brows. I do fancy a shimmer brow bone today. So this is where we're at. I like it. It's ended up quite glam and evening makeup. It needs mascara and eyelashes on now. So that's the eye with that lash on. And I'm trying to do it, obviously what's on trend, where you put a bit of the outer lash on the skin. So let me show you now. So here, usually I use tweezers, but I'm going to try and do it with my fingers. So line up to the outer edge where I want it, press down in place, pushing this down to the lash line where I want it, and then also lifting this up. See how it's actually on the eyeliner, and it gives it that lift. So I think I've done this side better than that side typically. And then push up. So for the skin, I've just used Shape Tape concealer under the eyes, and then also a little bit of contouring around the lips, nose, forehead, using Shape Tape as well. And now I'm going to go in with my Temptu airbrush because I've not used this in ages and I need to get practicing again, because hopefully obviously weddings are due. So I thought I'd do a little video because not many people really get to see airbrush. So you can do all different strengths. Foundation, 1 or 2 is perfect. So I'm just going to see how well 1 comes out. And I'm pressing the lever to get the product. Yeah, it's such a good colour match, I can barely see it. Which is obviously what you want when it comes to foundation. So I don't need to go too near my eyes, obviously, because I've already got the concealer there. I'm not even pressing any product now, I'm just drying it. A bronze and contour shade. So I have got a darker foundation shade. I'm wondering that it might be better because this one looks really dark. But as it is called a bronze and contour, I want to try it. This was quite new that I got at before the pandemic, so I haven't used this a lot. So it'd be nice to see the colour pay off today. Get me prepared for when I use it on clients. Obviously, a bronze and contour, you only need to use it in those areas. I'll just check my hand first. Yeah, that's coming out nice. So because I've got this elongated eye look going on, I am going to do a lot around there. So it's ever so subtle. It's fast, it's good that you don't need to clean brushes in between. It's very hygienic for clients in that sense if you just did a whole airbrush kind of method. Although when I use it for brides, I do it for the brides only, or sometimes more for the bride as well. Just do around my chin. And then next I'm going to do the blusher. Again, this is a new shade. Oh, the colours actually come off. I know it isn't. Pale pink. Ooh. Doesn't look too pale. I hope it's going to work on my skin tone, because obviously I've got fake tan on. Some shades are obviously made for more light skin shades, so we'll just see how it goes. Okay, so here goes. I don't know if I can see that enough, but I'll build it up in small layers. Just wanted to put it on the lip so you can actually see what colour it was. And you can also use temptu on the lip. So I don't like a lot of blusher anyway, so I'm just going to leave that there. Again, I'm just kind of drying a little bit in between. Okay, so the last airbrush item I'll use is the highlighter. And this is the Champagne, and I think it's the Perfect Canvas brand. So I can actually add it into a pod. So this can come pod ready, but I find that I go through it quite quick, so I like to buy the stuff in empty pods to fill in. But temptu highlighters are absolute beautiful. So I'm going to do my eyebrows now using the MAC, the Stud colour in Shape and Shade Brow Tint. So this imitates fine lines, like hair stroke lines. And this is just how I like to do my brows at the minute. So here I need to try and find that fake like cut off point and arch. So we'll draw some hair that isn't there, whereas the rest is there. If you do go wrong, it's easy to just wipe off using a brush. It looks a bit crazy at the minute, but it will look better. There we go. I've got a raised eyebrow, considered to the fact that the other line is about here. It's just lifted that whole area. I just prefer it so much. I wish my eyebrows was this shape. So I don't like brows to look too drawn on, so I take the Benefit mascara brush wand thingy and brush that through. It will soften the hair strokes there. It's bringing a different shade to the brows. And yeah, they just don't look too fake hairy, if that makes sense. Okay, just to set this, even though with temptu you don't need to set it, I just feel that I have, I don't know if you can see on the selfie camera, quite fine lines and pores, and I just feel when you powder with a good powder, it can actually help smooth them out and fill them in as such. So let's have a look. This is quite a new powder. I've only used it a few times. In the times I have used it, it has done what I've just said and smooths out the pores slightly. Obviously I need some like facial peels and things like that to officially get rid of my pores, but I do find that this does help. And also I do find it helps set the makeup to last longer. Just don't want to do it too much because I don't want to take away some of the colouring from the natural airbrush. Therefore I'd have to then reapply some, and I'm in a bit of a rush, so I haven't got time to do that. So as you've seen, I pressed it in using the powder puff that came with it. Now I'm just dusting away any excess. So Temptu do have a face powder that go with their product and it works amazing. I just wanted to use this product today because I've hardly used it and I want to see if it's compatible with the airbrush. To be fair, actually, usually as well I do this step then do the highlighter because it can reduce the highlighter away. So yeah, I feel it smoothed it slightly. Hope you can see. So I might actually also use a bit of Doll Beauty bronzer and blush, just to show that you can layer up Temptu, because yeah, I do feel I've lost a little bit and I just want a bit more. This is the Doll Beauty in medium, their bronzers. It's really nice, I do enjoy this. Just to re-intensify some of that bronzer that might have been lost through not enough layering or through the powdering. And then also up here around the eye. Gotta be careful because I am using a ring light in front of me, so it can make you look washed out even when you're not. So sometimes you think, oh, I need to put more on, when actually in a normal natural light it looks plenty. So there is another mirror behind me, and in that I look mostly fine, whereas I think this light is dulling me down a little bit. So that's that. And then also love this Viva La Vichy, again Doll Beauty, their blusher, if I can get into it. Why isn't it opening today? So it's like that. It's quite a nice peachy colour. I think it would go with these eyes. So there you go. There's the eyes with a completed makeup look, and obviously I do think it's just made the eyes come to life. Everything looks better all together. Just need to do my hair now. Right, babe, so I've done the eye makeup. What do you think of the eyes?
It's very pretty.
So I thought I'd do a second like soft glam eye makeup look, trying to do like the kind of half lash and just to really elongate the eye again. So I just went in with some simple shades, starting with Trending first. So this is the darkest shade that I used. Just using a fluffy brush, tapping off the excess because I have got my base on, and working my way around that outer V area. So it's really in the crease, the shade. So unfortunately I did do my eye base when I did my other eye base, and then I did my skin, brows and lips. So this base is really set now. So I'm hoping it will still be good, because I do prefer it when it's still a little bit tacky. Should be okay though. So I'm trying to apply light pressure, trying to build up those layers, trying to tap it in first really before blending it out. But I'm also obviously trying to avoid any fallout. So then I'm going to blend that out a little bit more, soften that edge. So using the same brush, I'm just going to wipe off the excess slightly. And then I'm going into the shade called Filter, so that one there. So obviously it's getting lighter the higher we're going up the eye. make sure I'm tapping off the excess to try and avoid the fallout. And now I'm trying to blend that edge away as well as taking colour up higher. I can see a lot of dust coming off, so I think it is going to have some fallout. I'm not tapping it off enough, I don't think. I don't mind though, because the base is set and I have put powder on. If there is any fallout, I should be able to dust it away. So with the other look, obviously I took the shading quite high, and I thought I wouldn't do that with this look. So I've still got the same shade on. I've just wiped the brush in between, because otherwise sometimes with this hitting the other colour it could get a bit muddy on the brush, so I'm trying to prevent that. Okay, so I'm just going to go into that first shade and just vamp that up a little bit. And this is as simple as this is. It really isn't that difficult of an eye look. Really easy. A natural soft eye. Soft but still looks glam, I think, because of the lashes and everything else. I would definitely say because the base has dried, it's not grabbing as quick as the other side did. So I'd definitely, if I ever did like this one eye thing first, I would definitely avoid putting my base on until I'm ready for it. I think I'm all good, not too much fallout. So I'm just going in with the shade Public. That's the one. So it's like a skin tone but shimmer. Metallic-y shimmer. I'm just going in with my finger just because I'm doing it quickly today, and obviously from the first test I did we know it worked on brush or finger, but sometimes due to like applying light pressure in the outer corner areas you can kind of blend it yourself quite quick. And that was it. So then taking just a flat brush and with the shade Exclusive, the pale one in the palette, adding it to the inner corner. And then also mixing it with the one I've just used on the lid, so Exclusive and Public, just under the brow ever so slightly. But then going back in and making sure that's blended. So using a little pencil brush, I'm taking that first shade Trending, mixed with the filter, so it's a little bit lighter, bringing it under my eyes. Just enough to coat the like bottom lashes, but not too much, like you can't really tell that I've even got any on there, and it's got mascara anyway, which then darkens it. So then we need eyeliner. So I start with the little line on the outside. Like that. And then I bring it in, whilst trying to keep as close to the lash line as possible. Trying to keep really thin here. So I did take it in here as well. And then just picking it up as and where I think I need it. So I mean, it's hard to tell now because that lash is making that look darker, but I definitely did it thick around here. Oh, I'm getting lipstick all over my face. And this is why I usually like to do eyes first. To be honest, I'm not too fussed about having the absolute perfect eyeliner today. I am doing some student one-to-ones, not one-to-ones, but with a tutor, some assessing and grading, which is really exciting. A little job I do with Leicester College, some mentoring some students on the course that I used to be on. So I wanted to look presentable for that, but it's not going to be perfect and I don't have time. I think I've got like half hour before they start, so being as fast as I can. So I'm using a half lash again. Well, it is actually a full lash but cut in half, and using this glue, which I am absolutely loving at the moment. It sets really quick and it's called Fingers, ''RS Precision Lash Adhesive. Never heard of the brand or anything like that. It was actually sent to me as a free gift from, like, when I purchased something. So like, yeah, they just put it in as like a free sample or just free gift. And at first I thought, oh, it's going to be rubbish, but actually it's really good. I really enjoy it. So let's try and do it with my fingers again rather than tweezers. No, I'm going to need tweezers. I don't know why, I just feel so much better with tweezers. So concentrating on the outer edge, just position it. I haven't got a panic or anything, it's not too set in place yet. I have to just drag my eye now, I'm getting old. So I'm just going to have a look where it's positioned. It's positioned nice and low to the lash band here. But I want to lift this area up a little bit. So these lashes are used, they have got makeup on. I need to colour it in really with some eyeliner. It's almost like in a diagonal elongated line, not a straight line against the lash, and that helps give it that lift. So I am going to just colour in the lash band because else that is going to annoy me so bad, and it helps obviously blend it in a lot better. And then taking any mascara, doing the bottoms. And then any top that might need it. And also because these lashes are used, I'm just going to go over them a little bit in case they've got makeup on. Kind of push it in that direction, like to that side. Like this to the left, the other side to the right, trying to continue that shape. And there you go, that's an easier, soft glam, really quick look. Just got to do my hair now. And on my skin again today, I have got the Temptu Airbrush again, and also the what bronzer? Charlotte Tilbury bronzer and NARS Orgasm blush. And on the lips, it is Doll Beauty lip liner and 2 lipstick shades. Look free. I have been able to upload this to this video because I know that when I've done this I have not uploaded the video with the other 2 looks yet. So I thought I'd do this and show you what I used. So I wanted to go down the mauvey pink aisle for this. And I must say, I thought, it's this way here, I thought there was going to be a lot more pinker than what they are. So they're very like deep plummy shades, dark mauve. But yeah, I would definitely use these even on some brides as well, and mother of the brides and things like that. So it looks very smoky but without being black. So I used the Fiction, I used it first, and then I went into Tacky to blend it out, and then I went into Scandal and a bit of Broadcast mixed together because I wanted a kind of pinky tone to blend out, and they was as pink as it gets. Then what did I use? Yeah, then on the crease I put a little bit of base again just to kind of get that halo effect, and I actually went in with this Disclosure shade, so it's a lovely coppery shade. And then I topped a little bit with the headlines, so even more coppery, even a bit of Public and Exclusive. So obviously it goes from darker to lighter in the middle. And then I did top my eyes with the Be Perfect kind of shimmery glitter stick as well. And then I brought a bit of shadow underneath. So underneath I did actually use most of those 3, I think the bottom 3, because then this one's like a shimmery purple. I was going to put that on the lid originally and it would have just all looked quite smoky and nice, but I thought, no, I've seen those in the same row and I think that they look really nice together, so I wanted to try them. And yeah, I thought I'd do this little video just to include to the little bits I've already done. And there you go. My skin now is actually NARS Sheer Glow mixed with a bit of Illamasqua and Illamasqua concealer. YSL powder. On my lips again is like a morph liner, the Too Faced like a lip gloss. So yeah, what do you think then, guys? Like, are you liking this palette? Has it made you want it? I do recommend it. It is beautiful. I just want to play some more now, but I feel like I've tested a good few shadows now. I could maybe do more of the browns and oranges. And even like on my brides who don't like a lot, I'm excited to see how a lot of these turn out to be really subtle. And I will say actually about the shimmers, they don't swatch very well. And you feel like you're not going to get a lot, but they are so beautiful on the eye. I really wasn't expecting them to be nice because I don't, like, it's quite hard to get a nice shimmer nowadays. A lot of people bulk out their palettes with them and a lot of them are not that nice. They look thick and chunky, but these go on so smooth and lovely. So yeah, I'm really surprised about that. But anyway, thank you for watching.